morning, women of God. I just wanted to get on and testify this morning. Rana had put on a post last week, and when I had seen it, I really felt the share. I didn't really want to necessarily, but I had that little urging because the lineup of what happened that I'm about to testify. It's all God. I'm going to jump right into it because I have places to go this morning. But I want to start with the scripture, Deuteronomy 3:28, and I want to read out of the New Living Translation. It says, "Do not be afraid or discouraged, for the Lord will personally go ahead of you. He will be with you. He will neither fail you nor abandon you." I liked it, the New Living Translation, because it said personally. A lot of the other translations, it says how God goes before us, or, He will be the one. But I like because it said personally. It's because, God made it extremely personal. He said, "It is me. I alone do this thing." So I have a page as well called Women of Purpose. And I guess it's 2 weeks ago now, I felt this urging to do a week of testifying. And I didn't know why the Lord told me to do it. It was just a very spare of the moment thing, and I immediately set it up and done it. And so that was great. It was good, and testimonies were coming in, and everything was going great. And Monday, I had my boys' blood, some labs done. I had some blood work done on him. My David, I found out he was anemic a year ago, but to be honest with you, anemia is not a big deal to me. I hear so many people say, "Oh, I'm anemic, so no big deal." You hear it all the time. And yeah, you hear "Oh, and it comes with crazy side effects," but I have never really heard of somebody being anemic and life or death kind of being in the balance kind of thing. So I had his blood work done on Monday because I knew that his levels had to have been a little bit worse because he was eating ice like crazy and he got real pale. But, I didn't really overthink it because, like I said, it was never a big deal. And so the next day the doctor calls me and I could tell when I answered the phone something wasn't right. When a doctor has a forceful they have too much calmness and too much "hey" in their voice kind of thing. So I immediately went on defense, I knew something was coming, so I was preparing myself. So he started telling me that, yes, his levels has drastically changed in a year. And then he went on to tell me, "Are you free today?" And I'm like, it's a weird question for a doctor to ask you. And I said, "Yes, what do I need to do?" Because I knew he was going to tell me to do something. And he says, "I am talking to the hemoglobin doctor. I'm setting you up some stuff. Wait for my call in about an hour, and I'm going to tell you what to do. I just wanted you to know, get yourself ready, because you're going to be going to see someone today." And I says, "Okay." But I had already started hearing whistling going on in my head because some of you guys know my testimony, and we had a freak accident happen when I was going through IVF, and I had a bleeding issue during the surgery. And I know that while I was at the hospital, it was a big rigmarole because there was 3 different doctors, and all doctors were at odds because one wanted me to go straight to surgery, one said no, one was trying to see what I wanted to do. And I remember they told me, if your blood level drops to 6.1, you have to have blood. There's no more waiting, there's no more praying, there's no more faith. You have to have blood. They say you are critical when you're at 6, when your blood volume is at 6. So I knew from myself what that was. The doctor called me and he told me his hemoglobin level was 3.6. It's like a whistle, like a train was in my head, because immediately I went back to that day in the hospital and I was hearing that doctor tell me, and my insides began to shake because I knew an adult and a child are a little bit different, yes, but I knew it was bad. I understood when they told me it was bad. So I started praying, and to be honest with you, I couldn't even tell people at the moment. I just called my mom. I says, "I can't deal with this right now. You can let my sisters know, but I can't deal with it. I just need to take him." Well, immediately the doctor called me back within 10 minutes. Sorry. He says, "Hey, I talked to the hemoglobin doctor. We actually have a room ready for you. Go straight to the children's. Don't go through emergency. Go straight to the 9th floor. The 9th floor is the blood like in Children's Hospital here, each floor has its own like there's the heart floor, there's the blood floor, and there's ICU, the PICU. So every floor has its own thing. They said go straight to the 9th floor. So I went immediate to admission. Basically, we went first through the transfusion center. They had to give my boy some transfusions, and sorry, I keep getting Texas. And he was hypercardiac when we got there, and I was mind blown. Because I'm like, God, what's going on here? Literally, the baby was running around laughing. He was tormenting the nurses. You know, they were bringing him toys, and because he was just being his normal, charming self. And I'm like, sitting here like, you mean to tell me you have this baby hooked up to all these monitors, and he is this bad? And I didn't know it. How? And I couldn't understand. I couldn't understand how things had progressed so drastically, and me being completely unaware. But when we got to the hospital, and we put into the 9th floor, the number 9. The door dinged, and right before it dinged, it dings right before it opens. And I said, God, go before me. I don't know what I'm walking off this elevator for. I don't know what I'm going to hear. I don't know what's going on, but go before me. That's the only way I'm going to make anything. I'm going to keep calm, and I'm not going to lose it, is if you go before me. And I literally felt like this when the door opened, and naturally, you know, I know like air moves when, but it's like I feel this whoosh kind of thing. And I started hearing this verse in my head: do not be afraid or discouraged, for the Lord will personally go ahead of you. He will be with you. He will neither fail you nor abandon you. And so, you know, it was, you know, we stayed calm and everything was fine. And thank God my boy got to go home the next day. And 3 different nurses says, you don't check in that floor and leave the next day. It doesn't happen. God truly had his hand on my boy, and you know, we still got some follow-ups to do, but I have got to testify because how God spared my boy, for one, but two, how he came on the scene, how he gave me and David, his dad, peace, how my boy literally never cried one time. They had to do IVs, they had to do shots, they had to draw 11 vials of blood. I mean, they did a lot to him within 24 hours, and he would just throw his arm out. He didn't care. When he'd come into the middle of the night to check his vitals, he already knew what it was, so he'd throw his little foot out of the blanket, because that's where like the little the ox thing was. And so there was just such a peace on my boy, and he just charmed the nurses, he charmed us, and he wanted to walk the halls, and it was just, God was there. But I was kind of having a rough morning on Friday morning, so we got checked in on Wednesday, we got checked in on Thursday. Okay, I guess I got his blood drawn on Wednesday. I'm all over the place right now. But Friday morning, Brandy was testifying on my page, and she said something because I was really struggling. I was up all night long because they had to do 1 transfusion, they had to give him a break, then they had to do another transfusion. And I was up tossing and turning all night. He's laying in the bed, and he was sleeping pretty much peacefully. But I said, I don't understand, God. What did I do? What did I miss? You know, what's going on? They're not giving me no answers. And even now, I don't really have answers. I got to do a follow-up. But Brandy's testified that morning about some reports that her boy got when he was an infant. And she said God gave her peace. And I'm probably going to butcher what she said, but basically she had said is that he was anointed. She had got the word about when God created him in the womb, right? And she said she knew he was ordained or anointed, I'm not sure exactly which word she used, to handle what he was going through. Because God already knew. He knit him in the womb. So he already knew what her boy was going to face. And he prepared that baby. He ordained them for that time. And it gave me such a peace, because I said, God, it doesn't always seem fair. It seems like my boy's always getting hit with something. But sorry, it just gave me a peace, because it said it doesn't matter, because he would be ordained for whatever. Sorry, I didn't think I'd get emotional. So like I said, we got to check out the next day, which all the nurses said they don't do. But I want to end with this. Proverbs 20:24. It says, a person's steps are directed by the Lord. How can anyone understand their way? It was a rough walk into the hospital. It was a rough walk out, because when I walked out, his papers still said critical. But God is the one who directs our path. No matter what we have to walk through, we don't go through alone. We're not abandoned through none of it. And it's God. We don't understand. We don't always have to. Because God says, lean not on your own understanding. So I don't lean on my own understanding. But I know that God has a purpose and He has a plan. And He is doing something through this in me. Because I know it's always about God working stuff out of us. But I can tell you this much. I've been through too much not to trust Him. He's always showed up on the scene. So that is just my encouragement. I just wanted to tell you and testify about the goodness of God, that sometimes it's a very hard walk, and sometimes you get calls that take your breath away, and sometimes you, as mothers or as women or as wives or as daughters, whatever it is, that you can have moments where your whole world seems like it shatters. But God never fails us. He never leaves us. He never abandons us. And it's Him who personally goes before us. And it's Him who directs our path. We think we're choosing it, but it's Him. So I just want you to be blessed and be encouraged.